And just to show you some numbers from a market research, what do people want to pay for? It's quite interesting. The main thing you want to pay for, extra health checks. So it's really diagnostics, and we have sports, wellness, food, healthy food, health counseling. That's very interesting as well, I think, because the health sector is very difficult to understand for any of us, for any individual. And it's very difficult to see, well, where should I go? What should I do for my health, etc. So I think there's a great need as well. And alternative medicine. And what we have seen in research, and I want to explain a bit this, is that like the attitudes of people towards health are not all equal. Health consciousness comes in very many different forms. Because when we first started to think about it a few years ago, we said, okay, there's a trend, people are more conscious of their health. But that consciousness can come in very many different forms. For example, if you take a couch potato who sits at home in front of the telly and thinks, okay, I should do something about my health. He's health conscious as well, but he doesn't do anything. Yeah. And there may be another type which does a lot of sports and so on and gets moving, but does never go to a diagnostic check. That's a very different form of health consciousness. And we did some market research, and we divided the population into 5 types. They're just, let's say, prototypes, so just to have an idea about the different directions you have here. And we have people like, we said, who are very active, who are really interested in all areas of health, and say, I take alternative medicine, I'm interested in wellness, I'm classical medicine, and so on, which spend a lot, about more than €1,000 a year. Then we have the carefree athletic types, like sporty people are often very single-focused when it comes to health. They do a lot, which is the best thing you can do, really, for your health. But they don't tend to think about to think a lot about it. They don't want to read about health, or they don't want to have a diagnostic check and so on. They just do sports. Like the first type here, self-aware inquisitive, they are quite different. They are very reflective. They want to know about health in general. They want to know about their health. And they will think, oh, I don't do enough for my health. I have to do something more. Like these 3 are the active types, and then we have two types here, two kinds of persons which are not so much involved into health and prevention. The food dragging, who can be characterized by the sentence, oh, I should do more for my health. Yeah, that's what where they really have a high confirmation rate, but they feel bad about it. And then we have like the traditional type who says, okay, for my health it's enough to just go to the doctors, that's it, and I don't need all that fancy new stuff. So if you want to sell something in the health market, you can bear in mind that there are many different kinds of customers, and of course you can have different typologies here. I don't say it's the only one which has to be applied, but just it's interesting to see health consciousness can come in many different forms. And now the second aspect of the health market is it's not only like only wellness and fancy and spa and so on. It really has something to do with the change in demographics as well. In aging populations means we have more and more chronic diseases. And these graphics here show how chronic diseases will evolve during the next 30, 40 years. And we'll have much more of them. And we have much more people who will have multimorbidity. As you see here, like people with more than 65 years, half of them have 2 or more chronic conditions at the same time. But on the other hand, they feel fit and healthy and want to travel and so on, and have to live with that maybe for many decades. Yeah, so this is really a different outlook now. And they will have to do something about it, and it will not all be covered by health insurance or by the state, so they will spend something about it as well. We'll have a different population with a different set of chronic conditions, and they will have to cope with it. And there will be markets as well to cover that. And of course, you mentioned already ICT, and you just published a new study. ICT is a big issue in health as well. People will use modern media for health, of course. We have hundreds of health-related apps already, more or less useful. We have a lot of enterprises who go into health. For example, all the big telephone operators in Europe, they were all thinking about solutions for ambient assisted living, for how can I connect a home, healthy home, and so on. We have a lot of services like health records from Microsoft, Google, didn't succeed so much. We have like phone counseling. We have like e-balance and so on. We have electronic fitness coaches. We have, when the new iPod Nano was presented a few days ago at the Apple conference, what was one of the selling reasons they mentioned, that it has a new pedometer and you can better monitor your fitness with it. So there's really lots of things going on, and this will as well help to open the markets because there are many services which you can do from another country. So ICT will have an increasingly important role in all parts of the health market. We have electronic health records, and I understand you're one of the first countries to have one, which I find really great because in Germany we've been struggling for it without success for more than 10 years. Telemedicine, of course, ambient assisted living, which is fostered as well by the EU. Support of HMOs, because when you have integrated healthcare and new forms of delivery of healthcare, you need more and more IT to support it. You have things like individualization. Yeah? When you come to the point that every person has like an individual health insurance and different terms and needs more complex treatment, and the doctor has to know about it, then you need IT to connect all this. There is much hype about social networks now. Can you use social networks to bring patient groups together, to organize health insurances, want to use it for marketing and so on. You will have apps. So this will be really a huge market.